21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
I'm Jack Johnson.
I'm Jill Johnson.
And we're the Franchise Insiders. We are franchise owners helping future franchise owners. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that when you work with us, you get to work with real franchise owners of either our current or former franchise owners that can walk you through every step of what it's actually like to build and scale a franchise. New Year's Eve 2016, Jill and I were driving to Huntington Beach. We both were completely fed up with our corporate jobs. Do you remember?
I remember clearly.
We were driving along and the conversation was which one of us was going to quit our job to become an entrepreneur. And as we got closer and closer to our destination, we decided that it wasn't just going to be one of us, it was going to be both of us.
Yeah, it was a scary thought, but ultimately we both wanted the freedom and we wanted to, really push forward and start something on our own. And we decided it was time for both of us to do it.
So before the clock struck midnight, we decided that we would sell our house, we would quit our jobs, and we would use the proceeds from the sale of our house to fund our business. And that's how we got our start as entrepreneurs. Although it sounds like we were throwing caution into the wind, it wasn't happenstance. It was something we had been thinking about for years.
Yeah. We had, with Jack's experience selling franchises, we have worked with franchise consultants, and it was one of those light bulb moments where we thought we should be doing that instead. And so it was a conversation the two of us had, but the question was who would put their job first to start the business? And that's really when that drive solidified everything, that there was no point in waiting. We were just going to jump right into it.
And having worked with a franchise for years, and this franchise had sold to private equity, it was the perfect time for me to lead that franchise. And like Jill said, we had so much experience working with these franchise consultants. We had a feeling that we could help people from a different perspective that most other consultants never had. And so we felt like from day one, we would have something that was very different. And that's what led to us creating this company of franchise owners helping future franchise owners. One of the things that we really love shining a light on is that owning a business, growing a business from scratch, it's not a passive asset. You can't just buy a business and it's going to grow. In fact, sometimes the initial stages of growing a franchise, it might be one of the hardest things you ever do in your life. But the reason why people do it and they persevere through the hardship is that when you're building a business, unlike when you're working a job, you're building value. Like we've seen clients of ours in as little as 12 months get an incredible offer for the business that they've built. So that's always the thing. It's like when you're building a new kitchen in your house. It's messy while you're building the kitchen, but you know at the end of the project you're going to have a beautiful new kitchen, and the same is true of business ownership. When we talk about what it's like to becoming a franchise owner, there's multiple steps to this, but the three critical steps are this. One, it's getting an understanding of what really someone is looking for. And I'm not talking about what franchise specifically they're looking for, but what's important to them. Is it more time with family? Is it building more wealth? Whatever it is, people have their reasons. So it's understanding what those are. Two, it's determining what franchise might be best for them. Not a specific brand, but a category. So we actually do a lot of psychological modeling with our own in-house tools. We bring in AI, and we're actually able to show people where they compare to top performing franchise owners based upon real data. So we can actually accurately help them map out what types of franchises are the right fit for them. And then of course, three, it's getting into the process, talking to franchises, talking to franchisees, learning what it's really like, so that by the time someone actually decides to invest in a franchise, they know that they are a close comp to high-performing franchises in that sector. They know that they've spoken to multiple franchisees, at least 3 to 6 that are actually operating that business. And they know that they're partnering with a reputable franchisor. This is something no one talks about, but part of the reason why becoming a franchise owner is so great is that when you work with a great franchisor, they can teach you to be a great entrepreneur. So it's not just about making, money. Of course, we all want to do that, but it's about partnering with a company that can teach you to be a great business owner. And that's what our 3-step process entails, which is helping you to identify the franchise types, identifying the right franchise, and identifying if franchise ownership is truly for you.
I think it's really interesting to note that a lot of people come to us with a franchise search, not knowing exactly what they're looking for, or possibly coming in really one-sided and only knowing one thing. The way Jack and I work together is we use our experience with franchisors and also with marketing to really determine what people are looking for and sometimes pull them out of that specific frame of mind that they have. So what we tend to do is really talk to them about their goals and what they're really looking for and try and match them with something that will fit what they're specifically looking for. Are they looking for a business that's going to be an asset that they want to pass down to the family members? Are they looking for something that they just want to invest in for a couple of years? And working with them and getting to know their personality and really understanding who they are and what they're looking for will really help us tailor that search. And sure, anyone can do that when they're looking for a franchise, but we're the experts. We're the ones that do this day and night. And so we're here to make those recommendations based on what they're telling us, taking their feedback and really presenting them with options that are best suited for them.
And, part of what's so valuable that having Jill's experience, having been in marketing for companies like IBM and Wynn Resorts, we understand so many times with franchising, branding is everything. Look at the companies that have changed the world. They have strong brands. Even looking at the franchises that have changed the world in the last couple of years. So part of what we're looking for, because if you look at these franchises today, like for example, we own a window cleaning franchise. We didn't buy this franchise because it cleans windows. We bought it because it's got a strong brand, because we knew we could come into the market with this brand and clearly separate ourselves. And so Jill's kind of our secret weapon in that she investigates the franchises that have really strong branding that can help you get leads. That can help you with the Facebook marketing and the social marketing. That's a huge aspect of this. A big part of our process in helping people navigate the franchise landscape. By the way, there's like 3,000 franchises on any given day.
There's a lot.
Here's the brutal truth. Most of them are junk. Most of them are trash that you shouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And there's a lot of people out there that want to take people's money. And one of the reasons why you absolutely need to work with a franchise consultant is that we can help you focus in on the good franchises. Now, here's something that's very important. If you're going to become a business owner, if you're going to become a franchise owner, one of the things that's going to help you sleep better at night is knowing that you are partnering with a franchise that can actually send you qualified leads. What does that mean? It means a franchise that has their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their Instagram, all of their social marketing, heck, even TikTok. You've got that dialed in. What you want to hear from existing franchise owners is we get 1, 2, 3, 5 leads a day from our franchisor. The marketing that we pay for, we're getting our money's worth with warm leads. That's when we help people. These are the questions that we give them that help ask and determine if a franchisor has strong marketing.
We want to make sure that the pressure isn't on the franchisee, that they have that strong support system, because a lot of people coming into this have not owned a business before, and they don't have a marketing or advertising background. And so working with a very strong franchisor will help them and give them the support that they need. So that's like the last thing they have to worry about.
Well, and the other thing people need to realize too, sometimes franchisors will lean into, hey, we're really good with our commercial marketing aspect and we can help you focus on that. Commercial accounts sound wonderful, but you may not be ready to take on commercial accounts from day one, and here's why. Commercial accounts, yes, it can be bigger ROI, bigger payments. You might close a $25,000, $50,000 job, but it might take you 8 weeks to get your receivables in. So when you're looking at certain types of franchises, say for example, like restoration, where you're dealing with a lot of insurance, you'll just want to make sure that you ask franchisees, how much money should I have in my business bank account at all times to cover these long accounts receivable situations? Because again, if you're paying your team to go out there and deliver work and you're not getting money back for 8 weeks. So again, that's where we always recommend to our clients, if it is a franchise that focuses on both commercial and residential, just understand that maybe starting with more residential jobs is going to help you get profitable faster and put you in a better position to take on those commercial jobs.
So as franchise consultants, Jack and I are here to help our clients understand the path, the franchise path. So many times people will come in with great expectations and want to buy, 3 to 5 territories and really grow fast and buy as many as they can. And that's where we come in. We're here to let them know that sometimes that massive growth is a little too much at first. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. And so working with us helps you understand that potentially starting off with maybe 1 or 2 territories, starting slow, building up that business, building up your revenue. You can always expand at a later time. You may even want to jump into a different franchise completely at that point. So we're there to really provide that guidance for you to make sure that our clients are not doing too much at once. And again, it's such an exciting time. So we understand that. We've been there and we've had personal experiences with that as well.
Okay, how many times have we had clients say to us, I love everything that you've shown me. I want to buy 3 different franchises. And like Jill said, it's an exciting time, but you want to have as much money available for working capital. More often than not, there will be an opportunity for you to grow by adding locations later on.
Right.
So our advice is always spend less money on franchise fees in the beginning, put more money into working capital. And then if you're good at it, you'll find that there's probably a neighbor or two that may want to sell you their franchise. And by the way, franchisees love selling to other franchisees. It's so much easier to sell your franchise to an existing franchisee who already understands what the business is like. And in any system, whether it's Crumble Cookie, I mean, look at it. Take this, for example, Crumble Cookie's last franchise disclosure document in their item 19 disclosure shows that the average franchisee nets around up 250,000. That's an approximation. Whereas the median nets closer to 70,000, I believe. And for any of you out there, request the Crumble franchise disclosure document to see those accurate numbers. But there's some data there that's worth really looking at. And that tells us some people are really good at growing Crumble franchises and some people aren't. And so for those that aren't, they're probably more than happy to sell their franchise for pennies up the dollar to the ones that are good at it. Now, that's just one example, but it's an example we give to our clients to let them know that if this is something that you can be good at, there will be plenty of opportunity for you to grow as you go down the line. One other key point to make here is this. As a franchise owner, you're going to learn about systemizing a business. There's a great book called The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. He talks about the systemization of a business. And as a franchise owner, you learn how to systemize everything. So what it means is you can learn to scale a great franchise, but you'll also have the tools in place that if in the future you decide to buy some mom and pop business and franchise it yourself, you know now how to systemize it as well. So that's where it's so critical that in the beginning, you partner with a great franchisor, not just to make money, but to learn how to be a great business owner.
It's a great stepping stone to becoming an entrepreneur. So not everyone is born an entrepreneur. Some people, are a little bit overwhelmed by it or just don't have the experience. But buying a franchise will help you become that entrepreneur. You have the support of the franchisor and you're really learning the business that you have endless opportunities. You can continue to buy more. You can expand your territory. You can diversify and go into a completely different industry, or you might be ready to start a business yourself. But they're giving you the tools and the lessons and the experience for you to get to that point.
If there were one thing that I could tell anyone that's thinking about owning a franchise, probably the biggest hack, as my 10-year-old son, soon to be 10-year-old son would say, boring businesses are better than exciting businesses. Boring businesses. And here's what you need to ask yourself when you're looking at a business that you might buy. Do I need it if the economy's bad?
Right.
Will I pay for it if I've lost my job and I'm worried about money? Will I still pay for it? If your mom gets sick, if your mom has dementia and she needs a caregiver, you will find a way to pay for it. If your house floods, you will find a way to pay for it. If your AC breaks, you will find a way to pay for it. So as we go through this, and we go through this with our clients every single day when we're starting, because when we work with a franchise consultant, we usually begin with maybe a list of 10 franchises, and then we begin to narrow it down. And as we start to weigh them against each other, we start to look at pros and cons. Will people pay for this if the economy goes south? Am I good at having a business with lots of employees, or should I have a subcontractor, meaning that I don't have to have employees? I can pay other professionals to do the service, and I can just focus on the things I'm good at, like sales. So this is so important as we think about, we really want to be honest with ourselves as to what we want out of a business, what we're good at, and will people actually buy it when times are bad?
These are questions that you will work with a franchise consultant like ourselves to really dig in and get the answers to. Because if you do a franchise search blindly and you don't have us to guide you, you're going to go towards those shiny objects. You're going to go towards the most popular fitness franchise. You're going to go towards the, like Jack said, the crumble cookies, the things that look great and are exciting and all over the place. But will they make you money? Will they drain your bank account? Are you okay managing the workers? Are you okay with the sometimes ridiculously high leases that you'll have to do with the brick and mortar? These are things that people don't necessarily think about in the beginning because, again, we're attracted to shiny objects. So when you work with us, we're going to really dig in and show you all of the different aspects of these businesses. And you might then realize that, yes, the boring business might be more my speed to start. And those are things you just wouldn't think about until you work with consultants like ourselves to really fully understand the business. And we're here to help you not get stuck. We're here to help you not buy a business that in, 6 months you're, questioning why you even did it. And you're, trying to raise money and, stop the bleeding.
But that's a key point.
Yes.
In most cases, when you start a business in month 6, it's going to be really hard.
Yes.
And that's really normal. But it should be that by month 12, life is a lot easier. Here's one thing that's really important to know, that working with a franchise consultant, why it's worth it, whether it's working with the franchise insiders or no one. If you call Dogtopia and you ask them what their franchise fee is directly, it's, let's say, $50,000 to $60,000. If you work with a franchise consultant, the price is still $50,000 to $60,000. You do not pay franchise consultants for their services, and the franchise fee never changes. So there's almost no downside to working with a professional who at the very least can help you focus on really great franchises. Prior to starting the Franchise Insiders, Jill and I helped build and sell a home health care company to private equity. That company, we witnessed it grow from 2 locations to 120. So we know what it's like to scale a franchise. We know what it's like to buy a franchise, to write that check for $60,000.
Yeah.
We know what it's like to put our money on the line and grow a business. So we've been in your shoes as a potential franchise owner. Over the years, we've helped 600 plus people become franchise owners, and we have built a reputation amongst franchisors, franchisees, as one of the top franchise consulting companies in the country. We were just named one of the top 100 franchise influencers for 2025. We set franchise placement records with FranServe. We were the first ever FranServe consultants to be placed in the $2 million club. What does that mean for you? What it means is when you work with the franchise insiders, you get to tie in with us. When we introduce you to a franchise, they're going to roll the red carpet out for you. We're on a first name basis with most of the younger franchise founders that are out there today. We can introduce you to the right people. And that's crucial because you want attention from the right people at the right franchises, because as you're building, you want to lean on those people. They're going to help you to grow your business. So working with the right franchise consultant, if you're asking yourself, which consultant should I work with? You want someone with real industry credibility and you'd be hard pressed to find a company that has more credibility than the franchise insiders, who are known as franchise owners helping future franchise owners.
Been in your shoes. We've bought a franchise. We've been through the whole process, so we understand what it's like to have that excitement and that fear, and we know what the first 6 months are like, and we know what writing that check feels like. And so we're there to really help you. We've done it. And that makes a huge difference. So many franchise consultants out there don't know what that's like. And we can give you recommendations and just share our story to let you know what it is like to go through this process. And we're honest with you. If we don't think it's for you, we'll let you know too. So you have that credibility, that trust, and the experience with us. When you work with the franchise insiders, we really take into account your experiences and everything. We use data to compare you to the top performing franchises. So what does that mean? That means before we even show you a match, we know which brands you're going to align with, which ones are going to work with your background and your experience and really what you're looking for. So our recommendations to you are extremely personalized and they're data driven. So we're not just showing you, things that we think would be great. They're actually very tailored and personalized to you specifically.
And unlike 99% of the other franchise consultants out there, we also do a full territory analysis where we make sure that you're getting a good territory. In fact, we just told a client 2 days ago, don't buy this franchise. He was ready to buy the franchise. We took one last look at the territory and found out he'd have to drive an hour every day to operate this business. And we said, don't do it. Don't do it. Let's recalibrate. Let's go back. Let's find another franchise. So again, that's the kind of guidance you can expect, is that we're going to use real data to show you where you compare to high performing before we ever even show you a franchise, show you the types of franchises where you compare to high performers. And then once we all sign off on that, then we'll show you those franchises and make sure that they actually have good territory available for you. That's a trap a lot of people fall into, is that they want the franchise they know about, but to sometimes get that franchise, you're going to get this bad territory in the outskirts of town. Just like real estate, you want to make sure that you are getting good territory, because franchises these days, if you can hit the right amount of profitability, are not only attractive to private buyers, but even to funds and private equity. So as we start to build a franchise, we want to have an end goal in mind of, could we sell this franchise for 4 times in 7 years? So this is the kind of guidance you can expect from the franchise insiders.
If you want to find out more about working with the franchise insiders, just visit our website at thefranchiseinsiders.com. You can also call or text us, and we're here for you anytime.
Call us at 800-445-6382, or you can even text 305-710-0050.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.